Okay, guys, welcome to Healthy Scratches. It's Tuesday, May 15th. We have got a very special guest in the house, Rear Admiral. You know him from Spittin' Chicklets. He's that voice that you hear and it transcends time and space.
Fucking RA.
Yeah. I'm not sure everyone's a fan of it, but great to be here in person, not in a video from my bed talking like a weirdo.
Yeah, we got...
Also, I'm a little disappointed.
You were so good in those, by the way.
Yeah, we need like a paint me like one of your French ladies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I try to jazz them up a little bit. You know?
Yeah,
if
I
I had
love
the
it.
sunglasses on, probably had a rough night the night before.
You did. You had a couple
Yeah.
tequilas, I think.
Yeah, I've had a
but
few since I've been down here. But
that might have been the Bruins' win, though, over the Leafs in Game 7, I want to say. Or was it...
No, it was when they
Game
lost. I think it was when
Yeah, it was-
lost
yeah.
Game 3 to Tampa.
yeah, it was definitely.
Yeah,
that's when he was
Sorry
like-
about that,
Yeah,
by
was
the
it.
way.
Yeah, hey, it's kind of ironic though. What the Tampa did to the Bruins, it seems like that Washington is doing to Tampa right now. a little
Crazy.
bit.
Yes,
I don't
it
understand it,
is.
but it's fascinating.
Yeah, and on that topic, of course, we have Game 3, Washington Capitals, Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. This one is the first game back in D.C. Capitals look incredible. Alexander Ovechkin is playing some of the best hockey we've seen him play. These guys are on a mission. You can just tell that they are breathing it, they're living it, and it's just a matter of time until they make the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they've been saying that for 20 years. They do get a great 2-0 lead right now. I mean, two of them in Tampa. We're going to see what Tampa's made of next game because it's their season. You can't go down 3-0. I mean, yeah, it's happened, 4 times we know, and this is where someone points out, there you go, Philadelphia 2010.
Fucking flyers.
But, you know, that Washington, they're just a wagon right now, as we like to say. Ovechkin, I mean, you have to appreciate it, even if you're not an Ovechkin fan per se. He's the greatest scorer of his generation.
He is.
Maybe arguably the greatest scorer
Without a
ever
doubt.
with that shot.
And when you start watching these games, a lot of us don't get to watch too many Capitals games like throughout the year, like random ones, like maybe big games. But every time, like he may score like once every like other game, or sometimes like obviously multiple in a game. But you watch him off the puck, and it's like he's so dangerous that it's you can't believe he doesn't score 5 a game.
Always in a dangerous position.
And some of his shots, like I know he came down last game too, and came like inside out and goes right like here, and it's so fucking hard when it comes off the stick. It's like, I'm surprised that he doesn't score more than he does, even though that's like a wild thing to say. His shots are so dangerous.
It is, and like, because they know it's coming. I mean, you know,
Yes.
on
Yeah,
the power
that's
play, you
all
know
they're
he's going to
waiting
set up
for.
there, and the goalie knows, and that's
Even
how,
like
that's how
2-on-2s,
fast it is,
you know he's just gonna come down, shoot through a screen, but it's every time through their legs, low, their heart. It's like, God, talk about a dude that you watch him and you understand why he has such big numbers. It's
And
crazy.
it's not only just him, like there's so much depth on that team right now that is just flexing their muscles. We haven't even seen Nicholas Backstrom in the last 3 games too. Braden Holtby, what a great story after not getting the start in the beginning of this entire playoff series. And let's not forget, we mentioned it the other day, but they were down 2-0 to Columbus.
Yeah.
When they were in the exact same situation that
exactly,
Tampa has been in. It's exciting, and also found these interesting newspaper headlines in Tampa. It looks as though they're already conceding to the Capitals. I don't know if you guys saw these.
No, I didn't. What
Some
does
of
it
the
say?
headlines were too late for a comeback, ? All caps, caps lock, and going down. These are from the Tampa Bay Times.
Yikes.
All caps is a pretty good headline. I got to give journalistic
good.
props to that one right there.
And I like caps lock, but it's weird. It's like that's your own team's paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of times they like to be negative and sky's falling. It sells
true.
more papers,
Yeah.
probably.
You know that in Boston.
And that's one thing I love writing the blogs. We get to write our own headlines and pick our own pictures. And yeah, sometimes you just got to stick it to them. Not that they're going to get motivated from the media, but it's just you're angry and you want to kind of send a message to them. So
I will say this
give
though,
them a good headline.
I think I'm very excited to watch this game tonight because Tampa, like, they're so loaded and they have so many players that I look at that I'm like, wow, this dude is so skilled. Like Braden Point, like guys, Tyler Johnson, Palat, like I'm not even talking about just the big names. They have so many dudes that I really respect on like a wow, this guy's a complete player. Like I really like watching him. There's no way that they don't show up. There's just like Hedman, McDonough. You're talking about a guy who was a captain of one of the biggest teams.
On, like, the 4th line.
Don't
Callahan.
say that.
Right? Yeah.
But it's like
Ryan Whitney dog whistle when you say Chris Kunitz.
yeah, but it's like they just have so many dudes that you would never bet against. Like as far as this much time, their backs are up against the wall. They have to respond, whether they win or not. Who knows? But they have to have a better effort than 6-2 in all these games.
You got to win this one.
Yeah,
That's
it's a must win, and you know we haven't seen them in this position before. Like we'll get to the other series in a bit, but you know Tampa hasn't been here. I mean they went through the first 2 rounds in 10
They
games.
went kind of quietly through it. Like after they got through the Devils and they got through the Bruins, it was like they didn't have too much adversity. What were they like 8-2? They hadn't really dropped anything.
So this is their first real adversity the whole season. When I mean they ran through the season like nothing, and we're gonna see really what they're made of. They need Vasilevsky has to be better, and Holtby's been. I mean, he's as much as we're talking about Ovechkin. Hope he's probably their Conn Smythe candidate right now.
Oh,
he's phenomenal. He's been doing it in the playoffs for 6 years now.
It's weird too without the Penguins like Grim Reaper standing over him. They seem to be so liberated, and like Hope's playing like a brick wall because it's almost like
they are so just like there's no pressure right now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God, we got past the Penguins.
It's like they're at school. They're like the school bully was like they're always looking over their back, and now he got transferred to a different school district, and now they're like walking around.
Like
they're
the
not
cool
afraid
kid,
of anyone.
Yeah, it's the proverbial monkey off the bat.
Yeah, they have like a new life. It's crazy.
Now looking at a response, the Vegas Golden Knights had just that in Winnipeg, and they won 3-1, even up the series. It was a great game. They basically were the Predators, essentially, what Winnipeg had to deal with. And when you look at the Jets, they still had a number of really good scoring chances in this game. Just not a lot of great secondary scoring chances. But Marc-Andre Fleury had a great game. Jonathan Marchessault, he was 2 goals. And this is a team that they know how to respond the entire year.
I mean, how about the first minute of the game?
Yeah.
Mark Scheifele goes through his legs. Like he had to have thought he scored. It's on the line. Then
that was an incredible save.
The next shift, Nikolai Ehlers comes down off the post. It's like that could be a very different game right away. It's crazy. The breaks, like, and also who was it? Cobb put one off the post too.
Yeah.
Point blank on Fleury. He's the type of goalie that when he has that mojo going, it's like it seems like all the bounces go their way. And like, is it magic? Is it just flower power? I don't know, but whatever it is, they need more of it.
First off,
that was beautiful.
Shout out to Julie's Jets, wink, wink.
Oh, nice.
The real Jets. There you go. My Jets. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
big Jets.
Well, similar to what we were just saying about Tampa, I think Vegas found themselves in that same situation last night. The first real adversity they had faced all year, from a on ice standpoint, and they responded incredible. I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury, he did let that soft goal up, the one that went through him. Like that's one.
Yeah.
But he played so well. Otherwise, he was, I think, the difference last night. And they just looked like the Vegas wagon we've seen all year. Just going line after line, just coming strong. They I think maybe he got wilted a little in that whiteout the first game.
Right.
I think that was the first time they looked actually overcoming the game.
It's kind of crazy though, speaking of the whiteout, that like it hasn't been as dominant as you'd think it would be, because they've lost like 3 of 4 in the whiteout the last games.
I think, and we talked about it on Chicklets last week, that you wonder in that Nashville-Winnipeg series, because they both play in such crazy bonds that they're almost desensitized to it. They can they're used to it so much at home that when they go to a road bond, that they're able to tune it out almost to some degree.
Yeah,
and Vegas
like
has a similar thing. Their place is absolutely insane. I haven't been to a game, I've talked to people, they say the place just doesn't stop going. So it might be a similar effect with them. The noise just doesn't get to them as it might, a team who hasn't listened to it.
Like the Hurricanes or something going in there must be a little, that's a different thing. But it's crazy to me too that Vegas to me just seems like a ragtag, like Revolutionary War army, where it's like they're just getting these turnovers and they're gone. It's in. It's like they're not gonna beat you with like conventional strength. With like tanks and planes, they're like hiding in the weeds and then they just pop out and score. It's like, it's very hard to beat that because what are you going to do? They're loaded with skill. Like Winnipeg, they got bigger dudes, big fast guys, but it doesn't matter. Vegas just plays the structure of their defense and the way that they just swarm. Like, look at Marchessault's first goal. They just pick them off, they're gone.
Yeah.
And then after that, they hit the post too. Who was that came down? It's like they almost scored 2 or 3 in a row. And obviously they're going up against, Winnipeg's going up against the Ryan Whitney curse last night. It's like, you just can't beat that.
Listen, if you need a bet, ask me. Don't stop listening to those guys. I know they played, but
there's no way to beat it.
During the Bruins Leaf series, every time we tweet like, "Oh, I'm all Bruins," and I'm like, "Yes, we got this one, Leafs." All right, it's so weird.
He knows so much about hockey. He's played the game so long, and he can't pick a game to save his life.
Just goes to show gambling.
It's crazy.
This one though could go 7, I think. Like, I mean, I don't know. The Jets haven't lost 2 in a row since like March, so I can really see them coming back into it. But I mean, both of them, I love this series so much. It's very different on the other side. I mean, we'll have to see what happens. Caps Tampa tonight, but
I hope Tampa makes a series because I would love to see both these more hockey before we get to a battle in the Stanley Cup.
I want this one to go the distance.
I just hope that people stop trying to check Dustin Bufflin because it's not being very successful.
God,
I mean, when Ryan Reeves tries to hit you and Ryan Reeves ends up on his ass, that's
a big
strong guy.
Dude, man. Yes. When he was in St. Louis, I met him a few times. He's the size of that column right there.
He's the toughest guy in the league.
He's legitimately like 4 feet wide.
He's a Winnipeg guy, so he's got like an extra little juice in there.
That is true. I forgot about that.
I partied with him in Winnipeg once.
Didn't his dad play for Blue Bomber? What's the Winnipeg team?
Yeah, Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Yeah,
CFL.
Little CFL. It's not a tie cat.
No, that's great. I'm glad we got some CFL
Alouettes,
knowledge in here.
The Argos. Come on, all right.
We did like a thing like where Winnipeg is in Canada, because a lot of people are now learning about Winnipeg.
Manitoba.
Right?
It's basically just north of Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Love that.
See, I'm
the
a big,
stats
I was a map
there.
geek when I was a kid, so
Shout out to Map Boy May.
Oh,
You
look at you!
always have
Holy
maps
shit!
on.
It's Map Boy May. You gotta wear a map
Map
shirt
Boy
every day in
May.
May.
Wear a
Where?
map shirt every day. Wow.
Look at this.
Land of Lincoln. Wow,
The
you
land
are-
of Lincoln.
I don't have a map shirt. I'm not that.
I'm gonna get you a map
We did
shirt. What do you
Canadian
want, Boston?
geography on Barstool Breakfast yesterday, so I feel like that's part of my map.
Shit, I
Map
love
boy,
that.
May?
Yes.
Map boy? Okay. Might be map girl too, but.
It's just mapped out May.
Mapped out May.
There it is.
Okay, so completely different league in the ECHL. 2 teams, the Fort Wayne Komets and the Colorado Eagles, were playing each other, and after warm-ups ended, the video shows, so there's no refs on the ice at this point, but they're all on the ice. It almost looks very West Side Story in a way, and it just insane brawl breaks out between everyone.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me it was a musical.
I wish.
It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. And one of my best friends in my entire life used to sleep in the same bed as him, all this stuff, is actually on the team.
Wait. You guys used to sleep
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
same
called
bed?
my heterosexual life partner. He's my left wing for like 4 years. We had a lot of chemistry, but nothing weird ever happened to our Oh,
It's like Seth and Evan from Superbad.
exactly.
We got it. Yeah.
We were dicing it up. And if only we had a source that's on the team. Oh, we do. He texts me. He's like, look at this fight. I'm like, can you explain it? He's like, some guy on their team came over the red and slashed a guy on our team, which doesn't really explain why you'd have 2 teams lined up,
They're
20
like
guys across.
stopped right before.
It's one of the most peculiar scenes. If only we had some insight.
Basically, what happened in Slapshot, warm-ups, guy crossed around the red line, hit the other guy, and
Yeah.
next thing it's a Donnybrook.
It's unbelievable.
like
So
one
I'll
slash led to
FaceTime
this
right now. I
entire
don't
team,
know
and
what-
also because there's no ref, like there's no refs anywhere during it.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
What's funny is that stuff used to happen with sort of regularity in the NHL. There would be fights on the
Yeah.
ice before the refs are even on the ice. I mean,
But, like-
and guys wouldn't even get suspended. They would just like break it up and then they would start the game. It was much different time than 1980s,
Right?
where yeah.
Wow, that was some really good insight from
Exclusive.
YP's heterosexual life partner.
From the Colorado Eagles, who are in a battle right now with the Fort Wayne Komets. And I gotta say, the coast, these dudes may not have all the glamour, but they're battling just as hard.
Dude,
Yeah.
Grinding.
to ride those bus rides that long and just to play hockey for what they get paid and what they have to eat, and that's dedication to
Yeah.
the highest degree
For
to
the
do
game.
that. Absolutely.
Scrapping, man.
Yeah, it really
Scrapping.
is. It really is.
All right. Thanks so much for joining
Hey,
us today.
anytime.
Anything
My
else,
pleasure.
Aria, that's on your
Yeah,
mind?
what's
what
you got
else?
spit and chiclets?
Yeah,
you
we'll
got
head down here.
We never talked about you on this. Like, you never said anything about the Marshawn thing. I'm not trying to open a can of worms,
Oh,
but
yeah.
what was your thoughts?
I probably tweeted about it a million times. It was definitely odd. I thought honestly the referees should have just called unsportsmanlike conduct, because if you read the rule, it says not limited, but including but not limited to. So that in interpretation could say licking faces,
Right.
and the refs could have said get in the box, because they can't. If he calls a penalty, it's a penalty, and then the NHL.
Then he would stop doing it.
Well,
you think?
well, not so much even that, or at least force the NHL to say, okay, you can't call that for a penalty, but we can. You know what I'm saying? The NHL was just sitting on their hands, and it's funny because they're like, oh, it's disgusting, it's gross. Again, Slapshot reminded me of the scene at the end when Ned Braden strip dances, and this is an embarrassment to the game of hockey. And in the background, guys are giving each other concussion punches in the head. It reminded me a lot of that. It was a lot of pearl clutching and hand wringing, but at the same time, it is a workspace. It'd be like if I gave you one of those right now, that would be weird.
Be odd.
Exactly. Yeah, well, for me and you, maybe a little bit.
Did you see John Cooper was like, wouldn't it, like, what if I did that to you? And everyone's like,
So,
well, if you did it, sir?
But I thought at the same time, the refs were letting the players handle it, because Callahan punched Marchand in the face 4 times, and I was like, ooh, penalty. I'm like, no, he licked his face, he punched him, and they kind of let them work it out. But it was just the league just cried about it. I thought they made way too much about it. The refs just should have called them unsportsmanlike from the get-go. I really think they could have, and instead of making this big deal, But
you think he stops going forward, like antics like that, or no?
maybe just the licking, but no, he's still going to be Marchand, because like me and Fight say, that's what fuels him. That's why exactly the essence of him.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, he has to be a pain in the ass to play at a premier level in the NHL. So yeah, he might just do some other trick next year.
I wonder where he got the licking from. I mean, it's a
he's done it before, and he bites.
I think it's just because you're so close. I don't even think he plans it. I think when you're just that close, like, how can I aggravate this guy without like punching him? And you just lick him. It's like instinctive, and it worked.
It'll get you.
Kind of instinctive. instinctive, but that may be the first time in NHL history that someone's licked someone. So I wouldn't say it's that instinctive.
Well, you know what? You know what? He didn't fucking bite him like those coward Canucks back in 2011, right?
Oh, Alex Burrows.
Alex Burrows
bit.
Fucking Bergeron of all people,
That's
too.
right.
The classiest guy in the league since Jean Rattel.
Good old Canadian boy.
See, I speak Canadian, Jewel.
Yeah, I like it. All right, guys. Thanks, all right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on.
Always a pleasure. Let's do it
Let's
again.
go.